This is an incredibly hard video to make. I am going to go ahead and tell you now I will not be able to keep my composure through most of it because I'm still not ready to really talk about it. But I need to. And so I will, frankly. So last I left off with this GoFundMe page was in efforts to save my father's life. To be able to afford to fly back to California and be with him. And sadly, there was no recovery for my dad. And he did pass away as of August 5th, 2017, at the age of 72. We gave him a couple months to try to come out of the coma and see the extent of the damage to his brain and see if there was any kind of future for him. He never did wake up, and he only got worse over the months. He got thinner. He finally started to look his age, which he never has. He used to lie to everyone and hide his age as best as he could and just play off being 50. He never let age rule him, so it was hard to see that on him. He developed blood clots in his leg. He developed pneumonia by the end of it as well. And he was struggling. And it came down to either I make the call or he will eventually just die slowly but surely, but he would. And so I made the call to let him go, to spare him, because he is not someone who would stand to be tied down to cables and medicine for the rest of his life. And it's not the life at all for him. He'd never want that, and I wasn't going to subjugate him to that. So I let him go. And then he kept going after they stopped supporting him, after they turned off the air. He kept going for about another whole day because he's stubborn. But I got the call when he did pass away. And I came to the hospital and was there with him, and he looked so happy. And it sounds really cheesy and dramatic, but he genuinely looked happy. He had a very nice expression on his face. So no matter how hard the decision was, I know I made the right one. And it's not going to be me delving into all of his personal affairs. I spent the next month, during all of August and a bit of September, just cleaning his property. I had a deadline. I had to pack up an entire house, his entire living, and send it across the country. And, you know, that cost everything I had. And I was doing it with some help from some friends, from some family friends, which I am so grateful for. Because I don't know if I could have done it entirely on my own, which a lot of it was. Yeah. It was just rough sitting on the chair and sleeping on the chair because I couldn't bear to sleep in his room. And just trying to get everything that was important, everything that meant something. And it sucks because I did have to leave some things behind, but I got most of it. But because of that, because of everything, I'm financially just screwed, basically. I'm barely making ends meet now that I'm back at work. I'm struggling to keep the bills paid, which I'm barely making at this point. And my dad has not been able to finally rest in peace yet. I have him here. I had to cremate him because I could not afford to bury him. Not yet. And what I would like to do is be able to take his ashes and bring them to his family in Connecticut and bury him next to his mother, my grandmother, so he can be with her and be with his family and be where he was from and not just here. Pride took part in what ultimately took away his life sooner than expected. My dad is a very strong person. He's a veteran of the United States. He went to Vietnam, and he doesn't like being babied by anyone. He will not ask for help from anyone. He will give you the shirt off his back, but he will never ask for anything back. And when he got sick, he thought he could handle it. He made his doctor's appointments. He was still living independently on his own and refusing the help of others, even me. And that's why I had made plans to fly out there to convince his stubborn little butt, big butt, to get in the hospital and do something instead of taking these random doctor's appointments. But pride made him wait too long, and pride turned out to be his downfall. So I've definitely inherited that pride from him. I never thought there would be a day where I would have to ask for help because I want to do things on my own. I want to earn things on my own. But this GoFundMe page is now asking for help for me to do what's right for him. He basically gave up 25 years of his life for me. From the moment I was born, he made me priority number one. He protected me from everything. He tried to give me the best of everything. And when he was at risk of losing me, he gave up all the money he had earned in his life to guarantee that I would stay by his side, protected. I could never repay him for all those years. All I can give him is my love and do what's right for him. I need to fly back to California again. Wonderful news. Though only for a brief period. I just need to go to a courthouse and basically just deal with the minor estate things and items like that. But I have to do it in the state of which he lived, and I am literally across the country, and it's very difficult when I'm basically meeting ends meet, and if anything ever comes up that costs more, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing. And so that's what this is for, to help me finish his affairs, to get him with his mom, and also in hopes of setting up something for his memory. I don't know what that would be exactly just yet. I don't know if it would be a memorial or a charity service, but I want to do something in his name, in the Starr family name, for him. So those are what my hopes are. There is no real goal I'm putting a number on for the amount I need to earn. It's just, if anyone can help and is willing to help, it would be honestly so appreciated. And I hate asking for it. I hate these videos. I hate this page. I want to burn it to the ground. But I've been living as a shell of what I was for half of a year now. I've just been on autopilot through everything. And I've been going to work and trying to just bury it all behind me and not look at it. Look at the ugly reality of what it is. And I have not gone without repercussions. Nothing is diagnosed yet, but I am aware that I might be suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder from all of this, from watching my dad die. I occasionally have these nightmares. Well, I have nightmares every night. And 99% of the time it's about him. Turning out he's alive. I have him back and he yelled at me for being stupid. And it always hurts to wake up again because he's not here. I've been having nightmares where I can't wake up, too. I get stuck in the nightmare and the reality, the scenarios where my dad's dead again, and I'm stuck in that horror. And there's been times where I could feel my boyfriend literally trying to shake me awake, and I know he's there, and I know I'm asleep, and I can't open my eyes. I can't do anything. I am stuck. And it's one of the most terrifying things that's come out of this. And I do think I need to go see someone. But again, I can't afford anything. I can't afford to help him. I can't afford to help myself. I work full-time, just over minimum wage. The bills are high. Like, this is the standard adult life, and I get that. But the unexpectedness of having to throw thousands of dollars out the window to try to save my father, I'd make that trade again any day. I apologize for crying so much. Those of you who know me on a much more personal level know I don't. But this is the worst time of my life. He is and always will be my hero. I do want to thank everyone who had been there from the get-go, who had donated and supported in any way and fashion they could during this horrible process. It's been eye-opening and terrifying all at the same time. So I'm so used to just doing things solo that having the support of others is just kind of scary. You know, it's interesting, this experience, because I've seen people who had been closer to me for years go, who left me or tried to use me during this, and people who barely knew me were the closest and the kindest. My best friend, abandoned the situation, and I know she must have been hurting too, but it was over a misunderstanding between something else. And I can't fathom ever abandoning someone who was losing their parent, someone who you would call friend, like that. To have someone who has been in your life since day one try to ask you for your money from your dad's life insurance to pay for their dental. That is the extent of the shit I have dealt with. So I've been just hiding for the last couple months. Hiding behind the smiles on Instagram and the tweets and the videos and streaming and everything, and I genuinely am happy in those moments, but I am hiding in them as well, because those are the moments I want to keep being in and not waking up from a dream of being with my father. Back to a life where I am working constantly and trying to ignore reality. And I can't just keep bundling myself into a cycle like this, miserable, because I'm not doing him any favors or service for all of the years that he's given to me being like this. So, again, I will put my pride aside and ask for help. The support or anything that you can give will not go to waste by any means. And it will go to a man who deserves so much more. A man who went from little to a lot and threw it all away to protect his daughter. So, thank you for watching. I'm sorry I'm a slobbery mess. This isn't something I want to do right away, but I have hit my breaking point. And I need to get back into being alive again. So again, thank you. There's not much else I can say, but thank you. I love you guys. I really do.